Patriots, Eagles, and the rest of the 30 teams around the league making moves, trying to get a Lombardi Trophy in Super Bowl 53. Will Selva out in the NFL newsroom in LA this morning. What's up?
Will's feeling it, right? Look at the Jazz Club. We need to drink and some wasabi peas. Let's go. Come on now.
Wasabi peas.
How many more sleeps until the next football game?
179. We will be here for almost all of them, unless, of course, Christmas is in that time frame, and you won't be here.
Wow. Okay. I think you guys need to do a 2-hour show tonight and then come back tomorrow morning, refreshed, recharged.
No days off, Will. Belichick style.
We're laughing, but there's so much to talk about, Will. Like the Patriots, they don't win the Super Bowl, and they just lost their defensive coordinator mastermind.
That's right. Nice way to set me up there. What we've already known for a while finally became official in Detroit. The Lions naming former Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia their new head coach. Patricia will be introduced at a press conference tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, which, by the way, you can see right here on NFL Network. Now, New England is the only place Patricia has ever known in his coaching career, starting as an offensive assistant, then moving up to be the team's DC in 2012. Sounds like a Schrags deep dive segment, which he's already done before. In a statement, Patricia saying, quote, "I will commit every ounce of my energy to this football team starting today." Well, as the saying goes, to the victor goes the spoils. Super Bowl 52 MVP Nick Foles paying a visit to Disney World in Orlando, Florida, getting the royal treatment in the parade. He didn't get the royal treatment from Tom Brady, though. TB12 not shaking Foles' hand after the game, unlike Mickey, who, look, little fist pump. Yeah. He joined NFL Total Access and was asked, "They have spoken."
You know, I haven't had a chance to talk to Tom since the game. You know, he's a tremendous, one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. After the game's over, so much happens really fast. Cameras are everywhere, confetti's everywhere, things are going crazy. He's a guy I definitely looked up to growing up, and, to go compete against him on the biggest stage is, something that, it's a tall task. They played an amazing game. He played, threw for over 500 yards. He played great, but, ultimately, I was really proud of my teammates for fighting for 60 minutes and coming away with the victory.
Now, Giselle was seen congratulating some of the Eagles. I know we had not touched upon it on this program, but we know if this was Cam Newton, this would melt the internet. The fact that he refused to shake the hand, or I shouldn't say refused because we don't know if he didn't want to do it, but the fact that he didn't
shake his hand. It's that easy. It's not. I don't think anybody here.
So what do we make of this, though?
I think it's ridiculous. Did Matt Ryan not run up to him and shake his hand when he won?
They gave Cam Newton a hard time when he didn't shake hand after the game.
Well, I raised the question, if it was a more famous, established quarterback than Nick Foles, would Brady have done it? For example, if it was Drew Brees representing the NFC, would Brady have done it? I think he would have.
Does he do it to Eli? Yeah, but I feel like Foles, I feel like with Foles and Brady, I feel like Foles was Kevin Hart almost, and Brady was a security guy, I don't know.
That's the real hero. Not all heroes wear capes.
Brady would probably... I thought they were pretty civil when they were just, but I think that Brady would appreciate Foles' story. He's a former 6th-round pick and back.
Good point.
I'm going to give Brady the benefit of the doubt here. He's not a graceless player. He's not a bad... he's pretty much a good ambassador for the sport in the most part. I do want to try to give him the...
Why? He's been in the Super Bowl 8 times, though. He understands the...
Guys getting their feelings.
Really quick, Will, we will talk to you and check in with you later. Sorry. We would love you. Talk to you a little bit back here in New York. What do you mean, why?
Why give him benefit of the doubt? If he gets in his feelings and he walks to the locker room before shaking hands, we should criticize him like we criticize every other player.
Fair. I'm shocked.
He has been amazing as a leader and ambassador of this league, but sometimes guys will make a bad decision because they're too emotional. They say, I can't go over there and stand under this confetti and search out a quarterback to shake his hand. But if we criticize other players, we criticize him.
Fair.
I want to know if what was the reaction between him and Eli in his first 2 losses?
I don't recall.
I don't know. We got to pull the video.
Hamilton?
There's a story. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't a story.
He might say the Super Bowl, the chaos, the people running the field, it's best to get off the field.
Yeah, and that's why
give Nick his moment.
Maybe that's a cop-out, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's been there 8 times. He knows the etiquette.
Yeah, it didn't feel like Isaiah Thomas storming off when the
Right. With 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Giselle did make a post on Instagram, and she said, congrats to the Eagles fans. I'm just adding to that narrative that we heard from.
Sure.
All right, Super Bowl 52 is one for the history books, and while it was an emotional win for the entire city of Philadelphia, it was just as devastating a loss for New England. We reporters on the ground, they're bringing you all the latest, the highs and the lows from both teams. Jane Slater is with the Pats.
Thanks, Kay. The mood on Monday as players made their way back to Foxborough, a somber one. There was a handful of fans here greeting the team, chanting thank you to them. But as soon as they got off those buses, most of them headed right to their cars. Only a handful of them making their way to the locker room. Defensive end Eric Lee, the only one to address the media, and he had a whole lot of no comments and no opinion on that when asked about Malcolm Butler's absence from the defensive game plan, as well as Matt Patricia's hiring in Detroit. Johnson Vadamosi, the corner for the Patriots, perhaps the saltiest one in the locker room, telling us, quote, I don't got nothing for you. I don't owe you guys. Insert the expletive. Now to Tiffany Blackman, where the mood was incredibly different in Philadelphia.
Thanks, Jane. Well, the scene was crazy here earlier on Monday, just outside of the NovaCare complex, where fans lined the sidewalks, cars parked along the streets, traffic at a standstill, just so these fans could welcome back the Philadelphia Eagles, their Super Bowl champs, to this city. And as players began to leave the facility, some of them stopped, rolled down those car windows, and signed autographs for fans. And receiver Torrey Smith and head coach Doug Peterson stopped to tell us what a championship means to this city.
I mean, you can see it right here, the passion of these fans. It's a great to bring the Lombardi home. How special is Thursday going to be? It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be 10 times better than this.
It was amazing. You see all this love, see how happy these folks are, man. It's just special. My guy says he's been waiting 50 years. Go talk to him.
What do you mean bringing back a championship to Philly?
It means the world. You know, that's what we set out for, and it means a lot to everybody here, man. It's special. It's special, man.
This city plans to hold a parade on Thursday, set to begin around 11 a.m. That will start just outside of the stadium and make its way north towards the Art Museum. Kay?
Thanks so much, Tiffany Blackman and Jane Slater, respectively, with the Eagles and the Patriots. 11 a.m. Our show ends at 10. Nate, get a PJ. Let's go.
I don't know anybody with a PJ. You know anybody? Oh, yeah, he know all kind of people. Yeah. Holla at your boys.
Let's talk logistics, Shakes.
Pajamas.
What we got?
Logistics, it starts at 11 a.m. The players, from what I'm told, are going to be at the Eagles facility beforehand. They're going to take a trip from there to the stadium, then from the stadium right all the way up to the Art Museum. This could be one of the greatest days in Philadelphia sports history. Probably the second greatest day behind, Sunday that just happened and when they won the Super Bowl.
I've seen them on TV. Have you been to one?
I have.
How was it?
Crazy.
Is it
like
crazy?
Absolutely crazy. And Chris Long actually said, because he celebrated, of course, on the Duck Boats with the Pats last year, that Super Bowl is great, but that it is the parade that is next level, and he knows Philly is going to bring it.
Being in Seattle and watching on TV, and they said it's close to 1 million people right now downtown. I can imagine.
I didn't play in the Super Bowl, but I felt like a superhero being at that parade up in Boston. It's like one of the best days, so we should go. Oh!
The hours of our show would be sort of like a pre-party for the parade.
Do you think the producer's telling me to go to break right now is them trying to get this idea out of our heads?
Yeah, probably.
What do you guys think? Should we go to the parade? Hashtag GMFB. We'll be right back after review. Okay, see you later. This play stood and it sealed.